Alright everybody, what's going on? It's Thundershot, and today I'm coming at you with a little bit different type of video. Today I'm coming at you with a discussion topic on YouTube, YouTube Red, and Adblock, and what it all means. Now, anyone who may be living under a rock, this is 2016, I'm going to go ahead and fill you in on what exactly Adblock is. For those of you who may not know, Adblock is an extension for Google Chrome. Now, Adblock does exactly what it says. It blocks the ads. If you go onto a YouTube video where you would have had some annoying ad in the corner and then a 2 or 3 minute video, or a 2 or 3 minute skippable ad play before your video, that ad just doesn't show up. Neither of those show up. You watch your video completely ad-free. If you go to a website that's perhaps a little bit more fishy, a website that would have normally spammed you with 5 or 6 pop-up ads, and every time you click X, it asks you if you're sure you want to close it, then you click yes, and it opens another pop-up ad, and you just get spammed with pop-up ads all day. It can block those effectively. If you've ever been to one of those websites where you need to download something off the internet, and you go to get your download link, and it takes you to the download link page, and there's 75 different download links, and only one of them is yours, and the rest are all ads that will probably download malware to your computer. Adblock helps stop that. Adblock can be a very helpful and magical tool to use on the internet. However, there is a downside to this. All these legitimate websites, I guess we'll call them, such as we'll do Facebook and YouTube and the main ones just to kind of run it over. All the actual websites that you go to for real information, whether it be a news website, this, that, or the other, just a website that's not trying to spam you with pop-up ads, have to take a hit when people run Adblock because, again, for anybody who may not know, ads are how websites make their money for the most part, give or take, depending on the website, but you get the idea. However, today we're going to be specifically talking about YouTube and how YouTube ads work and how many people they affect and how they affect different people and what Adblock actually means for YouTube, and ultimately, should YouTube turn Adblocker off? Now, before we get started, to go ahead and give you guys a rough idea of how many people are using Adblock exactly, there was a poll done by the famous YouTuber PewDiePie roughly a year ago, give or take a little bit, where he came out and he said that instead of the normal 15 to 20% of people who were using Adblock about the time he started YouTube, it's at least or right at 40% right now. And this was a year ago. I imagine more people have picked up Adblock since the original poll was taken. Now, I can't speak entirely to this poll's accuracy. It was done about a year ago, not to mention this is just PewDiePie's fan base that was polled by himself, but I would imagine that for a majority of YouTube, it's safe to say that this poll is within 10% accurate either one direction or the other. He's probably lowballing it. It's probably closer to 50% than 40 at this point, but like I said, I can't tell you for sure. And what this means exactly is that with 40% of people running Adblock is that both YouTube and its content creators are losing about 40% of their income from month to month in their paycheck. And if 40% of a paycheck missing seems like a lot, it's because it is. Now, I'm not here to make a video to tell you guys, oh, everyone should disable their Adblock, or anyone who uses Adblock is scum. That's not the point. I brought up a lot of good features or points on why Adblock is a good thing earlier. Plus, you guys have seen the spiel from plenty of other YouTubers, plenty of other times at this point, on how Adblock very negatively affects YouTubers and content creators and the money they make. I'm not here to just give you another guilt trip video to turn off Adblock, which is why I want to keep my next point kind of short and sweet. For maybe the few people out there who don't understand the negativity of Adblock and what it does exactly to certain people, there are a lot of YouTubers out there who are completely okay with their viewers running Adblock. In fact, in the same article where he mentions that 40% of people are running Adblock from his poll, PewDiePie also says that the people running Adblock on his channel don't even bother him that much. That's not really a big deal for guys like PewDiePie. He also mentions how he could see that it would affect smaller channels a much greater deal, and that is not necessarily an okay thing. So while it most likely doesn't bother larger channels like PewDiePie and other huge channels like that, because they do still make a lot of money off YouTube and other things, and now they've got partnerships with YouTube Red, which we will talk about later, it still affects YouTube in a negative way. Apparently, YouTube is still coming in at a loss and not making money despite all the viewers. 40% of its income being gone due to Adblock being a big reason, and it's also not a good thing for smaller YouTubers or channels that are just managing to tread above water, or channels that are trying to get big but can't do YouTube full-time just yet because the money just doesn't quite cut it, so they still have to work a part-time or a full-time job to keep themselves going. Real quick before we move on, I'm going to go ahead and use myself as an example. I am trying to get enough money around for PAX East right now. I'm also looking to move soon, and I would like a house, not necessarily a big house, but I need a house in a location that I'm looking for with a backyard for my dog, and it's just something that I'm trying to work out right now in my life, and these are my priorities and the way that I'm lining them up, and I've got to do balance checks, and I might not be able to afford to go to PAX East this time around if I'm still wanting to move when I want to, or maybe I go to PAX East, but maybe then I don't get to move as soon as I would like, and I have to hold off, or I have to get a smaller place, or maybe I don't get that backyard I was hoping for. We're all making sacrifices out here is the point. However, if Adblock wasn't a thing, if I was getting an extra 40% on my income over these last few months, there's no doubt in my mind I would be able to swing PAX East just fine. I would be able to get a nice sort of house that I'm looking for, that I'm trying to move into, and I would still have a little bit left over. I would be living a whole lot more comfortable into the situation. Now, once again, this is not a point to guilt trip anybody in running Adblock or anything like that. It's just an example for those who may not have been caught up on the situation. So now I want to move on to the relationship between Google, between YouTube, and between Adblock. The funny thing is that Google owns YouTube. Google, obviously being Google, owns YouTube, also owns Google Chrome, which then runs the extension Adblock that blocks ads from Google and YouTube, so Google and YouTube don't make money from Google's browser extension? To cut that one down a bit and try again, Google owns Google Chrome, the browser that a lot of people like to use. It's a very good browser, which has the extension Adblock that blocks ads from YouTube, which is also owned by Google. So therefore, YouTube isn't getting money because of Adblock, the extension in Chrome, and Google isn't getting money because of Adblock, the extension in Google Chrome. So they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot in that regard. Now, I have seen the question asked before, Thundershot, why doesn't Google Chrome just remove Adblock or make it impossible to download Adblock, or just not allow it as an extension on their browser? And the reason for that is because if Google Chrome were to turn off Adblock, my best guess says everybody would go to Firefox, everybody would go to Microsoft Edge, everybody would go to another browser, Opera or whatever the hell other people use. Everybody would go to another browser, a browser that would allow Adblock, because if Google Chrome's not going to do it and it's a great idea, other browsers will do it and people will flock to them for it. I'm imagining Firefox would get a lot more use if Firefox was the only browser out there with Adblock available, and people would drop Chrome like a bad habit. So if it's definitely not in Google Chrome's best interest to remove Adblock or make it impossible to download for the browser, the next thought that came to my head was, what about YouTube? And this is something that I looked around, I searched for a bit, and by search for a bit, I mean I Googled one time and didn't see anybody else who had the same idea. What if YouTube itself turned off Adblock? Now, there's a couple other sites that do this for examples for anyone who may not know. Hulu does this off the top of my head. Also, Kiss Anime comes to mind. There are plenty of other websites that do this where videos on their website in particular, but maybe some other features as well, simply will not work if your Adblock is enabled. They comes up with this pop-up that says disable your Adblock, the video won't play, please help support our website, things like that, and it basically makes their website unusable unless Adblock is turned off. Hell, while we're on the topic, you can give Hulu $8 a month and they still make you turn off Adblock. You still have to watch ads on Hulu if you're going to subscribe to Hulu for $8 a month, and that's absolutely insane. Now, I know a lot of people at this point, especially ones who really like Adblock, are annoyed with me at bringing up the idea that this is a possibility, but it's actually something to consider. A lot of people are probably thinking in their heads right now, Thundershot, if Google Chrome can't turn off Adblock because people will leave and go to another browser, what makes you think that if YouTube turns off Adblock, people won't leave and go to another video service? And the answer is people will not leave and go to another video service. YouTube has tested the limits time and time again, whether they're boning creators, whether they're boning viewers, whether subscriber boxes are glitched again, whether they were going to introduce YouTube Red at a horrible time and not pay content creators for it. Our jobs have been in jeopardy on multiple occasions. There's a lot of people who can lose channels at any given time due to false strikes because the companies or even people scamming and pretending to be the companies have all the power right now, and anyone's channel could be gone tomorrow for no reason, and if your channel's not big enough, there's a good chance you're just not going to get it back. For example, my channel. I could lose this tomorrow to 4 false claims from a company that may or may not exist, and boom, my channel's gone. If I don't know the right people, my channel doesn't come back. There are a lot of reasons that people have had in the past for leaving YouTube and going to another site. The problem is that it's never going to happen, or at least not in the foreseeable future. To kind of tone it down a notch, for years now, people have been wanting to leave YouTube. People have wanted YouTube to have some kind of competitor. People have been wanting to go somewhere else with their video making. There are simply no other options. You're not going to go to Vimeo or whatever the hell, however the hell you say that name. You're not going to go to Dailymotion. It's just not going to happen. YouTube is the only place that this kind of thing works. So in turn, and maybe somebody fill me in if I'm missing something, but I don't see YouTube losing a lot of viewers over this. I don't see YouTube losing a lot of consistent subscribers, and the few people that they do lose will definitely be made up for by 40% or nearly 40% of their income coming back as Adblock becomes disabled, or Adblock no longer works on the YouTube website. Another upside for YouTube, if they so choose to do this, would probably be YouTube Red. I imagine a lot of people would be willing to subscribe to YouTube Red if they were forced to turn Adblock off and wanted another alternative way to not watch ads. That's essentially the reason YouTube Red was introduced in the first place. For anyone who may not know what YouTube Red is, YouTube Red was released by YouTube a couple months ago, and it's a subscription service that they use as a way to, it comes with a couple bonus features. For example, you get to turn off ads. There is offline playback, so you can download videos as you wish. There's Google Play Music and YouTube Music, albeit I'm not too familiar with what those are. I imagine it's something similar to iTunes, though. Background videos, which admittedly is a feature that should already be involved with YouTube, but if you're on your mobile phone or whatever, you can close out of the YouTube app essentially and do other stuff on your phone, or darken your phone or whatever, and you can still hear the video playing in the background. And there's also exclusive content. They partnered with people like PewDiePie and a couple other famous YouTubers to make exclusive content that you can only find on YouTube Red. But the main feature that we're looking at here is YouTube Red is essentially Adblock. YouTube Red doesn't play ads for you, and in exchange, YouTube Red gets your $10 subscription a month, and the content creator, this is the important part, the content creator still gets paid as if you had watched an ad. So there's no ad for you, but the content creator still gets paid. Admittedly, for me, $10 is a little steep if you don't plan to use any of the extra features of YouTube Red, if you don't care about the bigger YouTubers and their special shows that they got going on, and you don't care about Google Play Music or background videos or downloading content or anything like that. If the only thing that's tantalizing to you in the YouTube Red offer is ad block, essentially, or not having to watch ads, $10 might be a little steep for most people, though I do still consider it a nice alternative if YouTube in the end does decide to turn off ad block, and you still don't want to watch ads. You give YouTube $10 a month, you get to watch all your videos ad-free, and YouTube still pays the content creators. I think I pretty much said everything I came here to say today. I'm pretty sure I've rambled on long enough. So if you guys have anything you want to fill me in on the comment section down below, for example, a good reason that maybe I didn't bring up on why YouTube wouldn't want to enable ad block in the comment section down below, feel free to fill me in. One of the reasons off the top of my head might be that maybe a YouTube video linked on another site, if it's embedded into the other site, that might make you have to turn off ad block on that website too, though that wouldn't be bad for that website because they would still get paid for ads. It might drive a couple people away. I'm not 100% sure on that. Maybe other major websites would try to use different video services or different means of uploading videos to attempt to get content on their news sites or what have you. That's just one reason off the top of my head. If you guys have any reasons yourselves that I didn't bring up today on why it would be a bad thing for YouTube to disable ad block and make everybody just either watch the ads or get YouTube Red, feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. Also, let me know about how you feel on the whole thing. I know I just became Satan to a lot of people who really like ad block and are like, Thundershot, why are you going to make me sit through 15 seconds of skippable ad before I watch your videos? That's such a dick move. Feel free to let me know if you hate ad block in the comment section down below. Don't let YouTube do it. Feel free to let me know if you think this is a good idea. Maybe there's some kind of happy middle ground in between. I'm open to ideas, guys. Just hit me up in the comment section down below. That's going to wrap it up for me today. Thank you guys for coming out. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm Thundershot. I'm out. Peace, late, and we will see you.